What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stacks the Numbers, and of course, another positive update here on a company that we've been tracking for, I don't know, a year and a half, that of course has been on an absolute raging tear because I told you that this was a brand name company that got beaten up. They're going to keep it underneath the radar. They're going to rally it up a couple of 100%. It's going to hit new all-time highs. Boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, it's going to be back in the spotlight. Everyone's going to be talking about, ooh, should I take a position now? And of course, the deals, the new contracts were going to keep coming in under the radar, and that was going to keep propelling the stock up. What are we talking about? We're talking about Rolls Royce Holdings, ticker symbol RYCEY here on our American OTC markets. Again, RR on the LSE, the London Stock Exchange. Stock hit a high, excuse me, stock hit a high today, $6.11. And let's pull back. How about just a 12-month chart here? Boom, stock was at $1.97 about 12 months ago. Today, $6 a share. You want to make 200% and pay half the amount in capital gains tax? No problem. All you have to do is find a brand name company that has been beaten up, battered down, and you buy it at a deep discount or even a fair value, and then you ride that wave. The Buffett method. The only person, again, outperforming Warren Buffett is Nancy Pelosi. So obviously, if you follow really either one of these people, you're probably going to make money off of their strategy. Pelosi, of course, a little bit of a different situation. But I just wanted to show here that, of course, the stock has been raging. I drew out all of these levels. That's exactly where the stock went. Who's better than me? And we can see right here our next trend line potentially is $6.90. And in my opinion, even if they, report in line here in August and the stock doesn't move much, I'm still confident personally that over time, the stock is going to continue to climb. And even if we look at some recent news here, we can see, look at this, Vattenfall shortlist Rolls Royce for new nuclear power project, right? And we see here CRRL on the London, and we can see Rolls Royce on the short list of two companies, right? So they have a 50% chance that could potentially supply small modular reactors for its new nuclear project. Swedish utilities working on building smaller modular reactors next to its Ringhals nuclear power plant in Sweden to allow nuclear power generation on the Vado Peninsula. My apologies. Vattenfall said it will evaluate the proposals of the British Aerospace Defense Engineering Company and the other candidate, American GE. I mean, listen, another brand name, so it could kind of go either way. However, I feel like Rolls-Royce really has been signing some new deals and getting a lot of these contracts here recently. So it might go Rolls-Royce's way. We can see GE, still a decent company overall in and of itself, but building large-scale reactors on the site. Okay. Okay, that talks about, Cognizant to acquire Belcan, but that mentions that Rolls-Royce, see, some of its clients include Boeing, which, of course, nobody would touch with a 10-foot pole right now, probably, GM, Rolls-Royce, right? So they're just mentioned right there. Rolls-Royce bags emergency backup power order from U.S. data center. Received an order from Smith Power Products for 2 kinetic power packs for emergency backup power for a data center in Colorado. Aerospace Defense Engineering Company will develop the kinetic energy systems in Belgium with commissioning expected in the fourth quarter. Rolls-Royce to develop engines for Polish Navy frigates. Disclosed an order for MTU propulsion engines and 4 marine gensets for the first of 3 new, I'm not even going to try, multi-purpose frigates for the Polish Navy. The Aerospace and Defense Company is developing the 4 engines and gensets in Germany for the first ship, which is expected to be launched in 2026, commissioned in 2030. Each ship will have 4 main propulsion engines, 4 onboard generators. And it is just beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Under everyone's nose, right? And when did everyone start talking about it? When it was like here, right? It was $5 already. It was $5 already. Again, I think originally brought to you on this channel at $1.20, if memory serves correct. What is this? Trading update back. It hasn't excited investors. Yeah, sure. Look, after a 5-fold increase to its share price between October 22 and March 24, right? So what's that, 18 months? right? I know we have a lot of traders here that watch this channel, and some people, we want quick money. What's the play for tomorrow? Oh, you were wrong. I'm down 60%. Oh, you were right. I'm up 200%. Just remember something. This right here is not a lot of time, and you could have made five-fold, and you would have paid less in taxes. Increased German companies turnaround and Fed, which are now well underway. Still winning new contracts. Balance sheet looking stronger. Again, if you recall, they recently had, I think it was, their credit rating was upgraded also as well recently. I think the last time we did an update. Oh, man, it's too good. That guidance implies strong first half. Strong start of the year. Company expects a broadly balanced weighting for both profit and cash flow. Would imply a stronger first half weighting than 2023. And they also mentioned again that we're potentially going to see a dividend come back. Confirmed its guidance. Underlying operating profit between 1.7 billion pounds and 2 billion pounds. Very nice. Stays confident. Confirms 2024 targets. There you go, 100% of 2019 levels, right? That's before it got completely smacked up. So this is what we were talking about, right? This is literally what we were talking about when we were seeing them beaten up when we first looked at it. And we speak about these companies having to go through these little transitioning phases, these little restructuring phases. Yeah, the stock might suck for a year or two. Everyone beats it up. But again, I said, in my opinion, there's a brand name company. This is one of the largest, again, aerospace defense companies out of England or the UK, whatever. But overall, again, this basically reminded me of Ford, right? This was almost like Ford back in the day. When it got, absolutely decimated, stock went down to like $1. Government stepped in, saved the company, started throwing money around. All of a sudden, I remember too, because again, I was a broker back at that time, and I remember like cold calling people, and everybody would try to brag to me, "Oh, my broker bought me Ford at $1." Apparently, everyone's broker all at the same time told their clients to buy Ford at $1, which is fine, but whatever, just a little anecdote for you. But really, it really just seems on the up and up here. It really does seem on the up and up here. Now we're back to a $50 billion market cap. Again, we were like sub 10 when we first started. PE still sitting at 16, still have more room to grow. Look at those EPS beats, the last couple of semi-annual reports here. And we can see that overall, in my opinion, again, for 2023, they brought in over 20 billion again, almost back to those 2019 levels. So we're still only trading about 2.5 times annual revenue with a PE of sub 20. So that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, we can easily continue. And if we get to $7, that'll bring our market cap up into like the 60s. Now we're trading roughly 3 times revenue. So maybe we can pause around here and bounce around for a little bit. But in my opinion, I still like Rolls Royce. I'm sorry, I still like Rolls Royce. And again, let's see. Can we find it? Look, it's not even on the screen. Right here. Right here after the ball dropped in 2023 is where I made my first video on Rolls Royce at $1.20. Stock today, $6.11. But let's check stock charts real quick. I'll let you go. It's enough bragging for me. And we can see that the stock has basically been above the mid-Bollinger Band going all the way back to the beginning of May. We had the slight dip here below it in April, and then before that, it wasn't really below it. As you see, look at that, just slightly tapping down below it and then immediately rebounding. We had the drop back down to the 50-day moving average in February, then it exploded off of it, hitting new highs. And you can see, look at this, you have to go all the way back to October of last year, which again was when all markets were pulling back for about that 3-month period, right? And then we just went on an absolute tear for about the last, like 8 months straight or whatever. But we can see that Rolls Royce is looking very strong, in my opinion, in the technicals, maintaining that top half of the Bollinger Bands. We can see, though, the RSI here is approaching 70. and we're at 67 and 3/4, so we could see like another pop, maybe even up to like 620, and then maybe it'll start to kind of flatten out and consolidate, start to sell off a little bit before it maybe takes the next leg higher. However, we also have the MACD that actually just crossed to the upside as well, so that may kind of fuel some momentum. That's what I mean. That's why we might have another day or two of pops and higher highs, newer highs, if you will. And then we might calm down and pull back a little bit. But we have seen the company go on rage. You know, it entered rage mode a couple of times, and that RSI benchmark of 70 wasn't necessarily the pullback point. So we know that anything can happen, but even a pullback here to the mid-Bollinger Band, 577, I mean, it just happened, but if we could pull back, you know, that could be potentially where we are. And we always say slow and steady wins the race, right? So we're looking at this stock over about, what, the last like 7-8 months. And we can see, look at the 50-day moving average down here. Was sub 260. Now it's 540, right? So that's up over 100% now. So that is technically a new support level. And look at the 200-day. I mean, off the screen before Christmas. And now you can see we went from 2, now it's above 407. So potentially that could be your low of the lows. And we can see that the stock really hasn't been anywhere near that on the daily anyway for about the last 8 months. But let's check the weekly real quick. And we can see, look on the weekly here, RSI just through the roof here. RSI was raging for, what is this, like 5 straight months. We pulled back, it looks like, right to that 70 benchmark. And then everyone said, all right, that's enough. The stock's going to keep raging. We got to get in now on this dip. Look at this little dip here. Right? So it went from like 550 to like 480. And everyone just jumped in. No one cared. Everyone just jumped in. And again, we can see, look at how strong it is, staying above the mid-Bollinger Band. 2 retests here over 18 months. And we can see the last time the stock was actually below the mid-Bollinger Band on the weekly was October of 2022. The massive spike rebound in the 50-day. Look at that. Basically back to where it was, going all the way back to early 2021. 200-day fell off a cliff, going from around 6.7 all the way down to 2. Now it's starting to curl back up to 13. We could also see the MACD actually looks like just crossed to the upside on the weekly as well. Top Bollinger Band 621. Right? I didn't even know that, honestly. So what did I say? I said, oh, we might get up to like 620, hit new highs in the next day or two, and then we might calm down. So let's see if that comes to fruition. But either way, I mean, again, I'm not trying to beat you guys up, but you probably should have been involved in this one already. But, you know, again, I still say that I personally like it, and I think it's going to continue to climb. And again, if these numbers remain strong and they keep getting these contracts and keep signing these deals and they get more and more back in the spotlight, they're going to put more attention on it. That's going to drive more volume into it. Fund managers may potentially start to take positions in Rolls Royce again. And on top of it, if the company begins to start paying a dividend again, that is going to bring in another wave of new volume to come in. And again, other fund managers as well might look at that and say, okay, fine, you know, fundamentals turned around. Now the company's paying a dividend. Now I can position my clients into this for a longer term play, right? The entire mentality of Wall Street is going to potentially change if that happens. But again, it doesn't matter because they're Johnny-come-latelys, and we knew this was a winner at $1.20. But if we check the pivot points here, we can see 580, our top resistance. On the weekly, we're well above that. And on the daily, we can see top resistance here, 629. So we might hit 621, calm down for a little bit, and then take that next leg higher to 629 potentially. Right here, just bounced off support of 602. Actually, no, it didn't. Low of 604. So it recently rejected off of 602, came down, started to come up. We had the day off, and then boom, we opened, we popped to new highs. So right now, it looks like 602 is our support level that we have to hold. But, I mean, either way, look at this. Just on the up, and really doesn't get better than that. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to end it there. So once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually pretty quick to reply. Oh, excuse me. Talking myself out of breath here. But thumbs up algorithm, right? Of course. That helps me get more eyes on the channel. That helps out the videos and everything. And of course, subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. That is how you help me help you. But of course, more importantly, moving forward, like I always say, I understand that these markets are rocky, they're volatile, they are very uncertain. So I want to wish all of you success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thanks for your time. Have a good day.